Hello, hope everybody's doing well. This is Jason Lawrence, real estate guy here. Want to talk today about what's happening in the market, at least in my market. I'm in southeastern Wisconsin, about 45 minutes north of Chicago and about 25 minutes south of Milwaukee. And I'm pretty excited about what's happened so far this year. So this is the 17th of January 2023. As we all know, interest rates have been creeping up, and that has definitely slowed some things down with certain buyers in a certain price point. The homes that we were building in we'll say like the $400,000 to $500,000 range, and I'm a home builder as well as a realtor. Those homes have kind of slowed down. And the people that are building now are the ones that really aren't as affected by the interest rate. They've got a lot of money that they're able to put down. They're building homes that would be considered, like we've been planning on building this home. This is our forever home, our dream home. For example, we've got one that we're going to be doing that is 4,000 square feet, and it will have a finished basement as well. It's on a property that they paid $350,000 for the property that they're building on, and then the build cost is the build cost alone is around 1.2. So they're not as affected by interest rates with those types of builds and clients. That being said, I have seen that existing home sales they've slowed. I would say that there's not as many multiple offer scenarios as there were in the last couple of years. If a seller put his home on the market, you were going to get over asking. There were going to be multiple offers. I think that that's kind of cooled down a bit, because again, those buyers that are in that 100,000, 200, 300, 400, 500, even 600,000. And really anybody, they can be affected by the interest rate. The difference of, we went from, 3.5%, 4% a year or two ago to where we are right now, a little over 7%. So that's a big difference in your monthly payment. So I have seen things kind of cool down there a little bit. But the one thing that has really, really surprised me is vacant land sales. So it's January 17th. We're not even 3 weeks into the year, and I've already sold over $1 million of vacant land. Now, this stuff has been in the works for a while, and in my last video, I talked about the property that I split and then sold off the lots there. And actually, when I did that last video, I had 2 of the 3 lots sold. Well, I actually got an accepted offer on the largest 22-acre piece, which was about $300,000. We just got an accepted offer on that over the weekend. And I had somebody that I actually met out there on Saturday and walked the property with that was very interested in buying it. So there were 2 people that were, interested in that property. I'm going to actually meet with that second couple now to show them through one of our new construction builds, and then I'm going to help them find a piece of property, 5-10 acres, and add to my vacant land total here. But that's so it's not like all this stuff just, I got these listings in the beginning of the year and then sold them all within a matter of 3 weeks. No, they all just happened to sell. So I've so far, I've had 3 closings this year on vacant land parcels. The one that we just got the accepted offer on, that's going to close in the beginning of March. I've got one that is going to be closing the first week of February, and then another one that's going to be closing the end of February, and that's actually going to put me at about 1.1 million for vacant land sales for 2023, and I plan on doing a lot more than that. So it's just really cool that basically the thing is, if you're a real estate agent and you're selling vacant land or houses or whatever it is, there's a reason why you want to accumulate listings. And with some of these vacant land pieces, I had them listed for quite some time. One of them was listed off and on for about a year and a half, and then all of a sudden, boom, a buyer kind of came out of nowhere and we got an accepted offer on it. So get those listings. If you're a realtor, get those listings, because at some point somebody's going to come along and buy it, and if you've got it listed, you're going to get the sale for it. Now, I'm not just saying get these listings, sit on them, don't do anything, just keep them. No, that's doing a disservice to your sellers. You want to do everything that you can to market them, but sometimes there's only so much that you can do. So with a vacant land parcel, there's only so much that you can really do there, and sometimes it just takes that right person. They just sold something, now they're looking to build, and boom, there they are. They're ready to come out and purchase a piece of vacant land. So I'm ecstatic about the beginning of this year, and I do actually have a large. So I do a lot of vacant land. I've sold farms before. I've sold 100-acre plots before. So I do a lot of stuff with that. So I've got somebody who's building a home across the street from me, and they're not using me as a builder, which is okay. They purchased that was another property I had listed last year. They purchased the property. They already had their builder picked. Can't build them all, no problem. But he called me and wants me to list the property that he has now, which is, he's on 20 acres, and it'll end up being, I would say, like a $600,000 listing, maybe a little bit more than that. So, super psyched with what's going on there. But all that being said, there has been a slowdown with the existing homes, and with just people in general coming out and inquiring and planning to build their new homes. Now, we're a little bit insulated in our market. We do have the like I said, we're 45 minutes north of Chicago, so we're very fortunate to get people that are coming up from Illinois. The couple that I'm going to meet with right now lives in Illinois. People want to get out of Illinois, the taxes, the politics. That's good for us. So we're a little bit insulated to, when we had the last housing crash in 2008, we didn't drop as far down as some of the other states, bigger state, California and some of these other markets that took a lot longer to recover. They dropped, their prices dropped much further down below what ours did from a percentage standpoint. So we're a little insulated here. And then we ourselves, the type of builder that we are, we're kind of known in our market for doing, higher end custom homes. So again, the clientele that we're building for isn't as affected by the interest rates as other people are. So that bodes well for us too. One thing that is unclear is, during the months of November, December, January, things are slower in the real estate industry all the way across the board. Now with home building, because you've got the holidays, people are focusing more on family. So the open houses that we're doing, the inquiries that are coming in through our website are definitely less than what they are once the spring months kicking. Typically, usually it's like the end of January, beginning of February is when things really start to heat up as far as new inquiries and people wanting to come in for meetings and get their plans going with home building. And it's kind of the same thing with existing real estate too. For those very same reasons, there's not as many people out there looking in the market as there are once, the holidays go past, first of the year's over, and now everybody's kind of like, okay, let's get back to what we were doing before. So I feel like this year is going to be pretty similar to 2022. Things definitely cooled off in 2022 compared to 2021. So I think that, and interest rates were going up almost most of the year in 2022. So I feel like it's kind of going to be more of the same, which is okay. It's definitely okay. We're happy with how things went in 2022. So we're definitely good with that. And and keep in mind with the housing market, there's always going to be ups and downs. I mean, there's always going to be, if you look at past years and you look at charts, there's always ups and then there's downs. There's ups and there's down. At the same time, it's kind of like climbing a mountain. It's continuously going up, even though we're you know, I don't know that we're really in like a down session right now, but in 2008, when prices really dropped, even when prices had dropped there, the values on those existing homes and new builds and things were still a lot more than they were if you looked back into like the early 90s, so or late 80s. So I mean, prices are always going up, but you do have your, you know, it's almost like 10-year spurts, it seems like. We had 10 years, if we go back to, I would say like 2012 was when we started coming out of the bad market, you know, the crash from 2008. And 2022, last year, again, was a good year. Things are starting to slow down a little bit with interest rates, but if you look at that, that's 10 years of it was an amazing market. I mean, and things just got nuts too when COVID happened. The market, you weren't really sure what was going to happen with the market. And I remember there was I think it was probably about a 5 or a 6 week stretch where there, you know, and this was when we didn't have any idea what this was, or we didn't really know much about it. It was just real fresh. So there was about 6 weeks where things were just quiet and the phones weren't ringing, there were no appointments, and then all of a sudden on that 6th week, I remember it was a Friday, and I got like 4 phone calls that day and set up 4 appointments with new people for the following week. And things just kind of exploded then. So we were unsure what was going to happen with the market. You know, it could have went the complete opposite way, but it didn't. It got busier than it did before, and we were in the situation where there were multiple offers on everything, and values were just continuing to skyrocket on homes. So it's, you know, we had a great market for 10 years, and 2022 was good. If 2023 is like 2022, that means that we'll be into our 11th year of a good market. So even though things are cooling down, things are correcting, we'll say. So the existing home values aren't jumping up by huge percentages every year like they were in the past years. So things are just kind of leveling off, which is good. That's what it needs to do. You need to have periods like that. It's kind of nice to be able to take a little bit of a deep breath here. Same with home building. You know, for the last few years, it's been a struggle for us to know what our build prices is. You know, we're making an agreement with somebody to build a house for X amount of dollars. We're not starting that house for another couple months. We have no idea what the prices are going to be between now and then, because prices were just constantly shooting up, you know, week over week. I mean, lumber ended up, you know, lumber hit its all-time high. It quadrupled in 2021, and it quadrupled from where it was, which is crazy. And then it finally last year, and I may be a little off on my timing periods, but last year, you know, that's the beginning of last year, lumber cooled off, prices came down. Now I believe it's at an all-time low, and that's allowed the building prices, they pretty much, I think we maybe had 1 or 2 at the most price increases for 2022, which is pretty good. I mean, the previous years we had to increase prices almost monthly, so it's kind of nice that prices kind of planed out and you feel comfortable giving somebody a build number, even though you know you're not going to be starting their house for a couple of months. Now, we are actually right now at this point, we're looking at our prices to see, we haven't done a price increase since the middle of 2022. So even though lumber has been coming down, every other product continues to go up because of, you know, gas prices and so on and so forth. So even though the lumber is coming down, it doesn't mean home build prices are coming down. And that's always a question that people have, or statements they say, I'm going to wait for prices to come down before I build. Or when are the home build prices going to come down? They're never going to come down. They're just going to stop going up. And that's kind of what's happened here. And even if we do have an increase here, I don't think it's going to be anything too hefty. And as long as things keep trending the way that they are, we should be able to hold those prices for a while, which is nice. So that's all I got here. I don't want to start to ramble, but just wanted to give an update on how the market is in southeastern Wisconsin in the beginning of 2023. I'm very optimistic. I feel good about it. I'm happy with what's happened so far. And remember, if you're in this industry, you create your own market. You really do. There's always going to be the ups and downs, but the reputation that you build, you're still going to get clients even when things slow down. So you create your own market. You get paid in direct proportion to how hard you work. That's the great thing about being in this industry. So that's all I've got for today. Take care, God bless, and we will see you next time.